Hello everyone, today was new mold day, all new molds for us. Well, technically we had tried to run this one before, but we had some problems with it, the way it was mounted, and had to retap the holes for the mold. So we ran one of these last time. So these are all 12 scale over here, and then this is off-road over here, 10 scale off-road. This is one we've put off for a long time running because frankly, it's not that much of an in-demand body for a fairly rare car. This is for the Schumacher Cat short wheelbase, SWB. We've run the belt covers for quite a while, and we have those technically. I don't even know if we have a supply of them, but I don't know if we even have them for sale. We've been kind of holding them back until this day. So we've got some of these. We did small run. We've got the chassis underneath cover tray, and then the body. And from what I've heard, this is a pretty good version of the body. The mold is a very accurate one. I'm not sure about the tray. It has a weird curve in there. I don't know if that's naturally in there or if that's an error in the reproduction mold. I don't know, since we've got these molds from Mr. Luxand. So that is a reproduction. These are all original molds, and these are ones that have been sitting on the back burner undone for a very long time because they had issues. They had a lot of defects in them or cracks. So we just kind of put them off until today to do them until we could get them all fixed up. This one is just kind of listed in our documentation as a Can Am. I don't really know anything much about it. It gave us some fits because it has such a straight angles on it, and then the head over here, it was sticking to the mold quite a bit. And we have some ruined bodies from kind of almost turning inside out, trying to get off the mold. The rescue for that one was the mold release. Had to get the mold release out again for that one. But overall, that wasn't too bad. And these are all first runs. There's some error ones we have. Because of the filling we had to do to fill in holes and stuff like that, on some of them we found some residue or stuff we missed, or just more defects in the molds that we need to go back to later and see if we can do some more work on improving. This is an F1, and we have it listed as F1 number 2. I don't know if it's supposed to look like a particular F1, historical F1, or not. One of the things I was talking about, if I can get the angle just right here. Oh, come on. There we go. This is what I was talking about. There's some gunk that was on the mold that is like kind of, I don't know if it's cast in it or what, but it wasn't easily coming off. We'll have to get some sandpaper out and see if we can lower those high spots on this one. But overall, these came out really well. The only thing on this one we had real difficulty with was right back here on the driver head, and played around with a lot of settings. We did limited run of all of these today, very, very limited run. So in that limited run, you could see I was able to get rid of that. It took a lot of playing with settings to get rid of that. And basically what it took was to push the mold up into the plastic and kind of let the plastic sit for a little bit to naturally stretch down over this high spot. The high spot's the really killer part right there that's causing that. And then have the vacuum engage, and then it took care of it. So I tell you what, man, not to brag too much, but I'm getting good at this. So I'm getting really good at this, figuring out stuff. Then we've got this one here. This one is another F1. I don't know what it's called. This one had some stuff too on the front spoiler thing there that we need to take a look at next time we go to run it, which who knows when that'll be. Back here, this area, this is kind of an interesting one. This one's going to be all cut out, I guess. You're supposed to cut this all out in here. I think there's a line in there somewhere or something like that. The rear wheels would be exposed back here. Yeah, and then on this one, actually, yeah, I mean, you got there's molded in line there for the rear wheel. And then it's kind of hard to tell, but there's a little spot underneath this wing. You would cut it out right there, and for air to go through for the rear wing. This one, we've got typically a rear wing mold that maybe's for this mold. In fact, you know what? Hang on a moment. I'm going to pause this and get that mold. All right, here's the wing mold, which we haven't run yet because it's going to require, unfortunately, a kind of a new base to run it. Maybe we should have tried to see if we could have fit it in the same sheet with this. I don't know. I was told once upon a time that this mold for this goes with this body, but I'm skeptical. I'm not really sure how it's supposed to work with this. If any of you out there watching know how this wing is supposed to work with these, let me know. I just don't see it. I don't know if that's supposed to go up against there. No, that doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm doubtful on that. So let me know. Let me then show you on these molds what took us so long. So on this one over here, this F1, this mold is pretty unique. I think this was potentially a Jerobi mold originally. If you watch one of our previous videos about new mold we ran a Datsun mold recently, and it was very narrow. This was also narrow, and they widened it at some point. You can see all these little gray things. Those are all filled in. In fact, we had to actually come in and do some more work filling it in. These darker spots here, that's new epoxy, metal filled epoxy that's in there. Some spots in there, all these in here. Yeah, so this mold had a lot of work that needed to be done on it. We filled in some of the stuff up here. Like up here, here's those spots. We tried sanding that today, but it's going to take a little bit more work to get those figured out. I don't know what's on there. If it's fill we forgot to sand off or what. But you can see it had some spots where I think it was for a Jerobi originally, and then they modified it for more of a 12 scale pan card, the 12I, 12L. Then the other thing that had to be done, you can see some material on the mold base here. There was quite a big scratch right there in that spot in that little square panel area. So we had to fill that in and then put new holes in that to get the details back in there. These are holes that don't actually vent anywhere. They're just little recesses, so they do make, there you go, you can get a little bit of feature in there. So, and it looks like the fill in there, maybe you can see a little faint line in there, but it's overall pretty good for what it is. The problem with filling in anything like this is that this material, the original material compared to the new material, when it's heated up, which you need to do for these to get good results on the bodies, they have different expansion rate, and you can have, this expands more or less than your fill material. So that's something to be wary of. Anytime you're trying to fill stuff, good luck, because if you don't match it exactly or whatever, you're gonna have a problem. Then you can see there was some fill there. In fact, a lot of these darker circles, that's all fill in. And this represents many hours of work for a lot of these molds to get them filled in and sanded. And oftentimes you find a spot and then you realize as you're sanding down one of the spots, oh, here's another spot that I need to fill in. So it was a lot of work to get these to what you see now. Yeah, another spot over there we had to fill in. Over here on the side of the wing. Yeah, this one was a major project to get it all. And then over here on the Can Am, I had to fill in there, and we filled in some in here, I think, but it still copied into the mold quite a bit. So we're gonna come back and revisit this one before next time we run it. We had to do some fill over here. Various little spots around the mold had to be fixed. Yeah, some over here. So a lot of these were not in great shape, and that's why it took so long for us to get these run, is because they needed a lot of help. We now have one mold left, a Camaro 12 scale, that really was a basket case that is terrible, that we are probably about ready to run, and we'll see how it goes. It has a lot of defects. It has a lot of issues with hang-ups and releasing from the body from the mold potentially with it because of the undercuts in it. We'll run that here probably in the next couple of weeks as well. We're going to get a big supply of plastic in soon, and we're going to catch up on some of the bodies we're sold out of right now. We kind of used the last of our plastic to get these run today, and when the new supply comes in, we're going to be going gung-ho and getting some of the stuff caught up. So look for a lot of bodies back in inventory here in the next week or two. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, or if you can figure out what that wing, how that wing is supposed to work, leave us a message. That'd be great as well. I'd be interested to know if anyone's even got a picture of it. That'd be great. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Okay, Associated is going to start and they're going to make an off-road car. Okay, at my hobby shop, I'm selling the hell out of off-road cars. I'm buying them from Cox.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
buying directly from Kyosho in Japan because they got no money over here.
Some Kyosho or some.
I'm bringing in the parts from Japan. I mean, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Okay, and I'm selling out of that stuff. And they came to us and said, we want to build our, they were making on-road cars. We want to make an off-road car. We'd like Gil to help us design it. I said, okay, let's make a deal. I said, okay, I want a 10% discount.
Oh,
More than
sure.
everybody else gets.
Yep.
Fair, huh?
Yep, exactly.
And the first year you make them, I want 3,000 units.